Let me show you some of the most typical mistakes that people make when they do the exercises to improve their listening skills and when they watch movies in English. Mistake number one, people watch a movie and they go like, oh, I understand what they said. Yeah, I kind of understand, of course I do. Yeah, it's obvious, I can see them talking, I can see what they're doing. They think they understand when in fact, most likely, they do not. And the difference between what they understand and what was really said is often so huge that people have no idea. Let me show you what I mean. Let's watch this movie scene. Do you understand what they're talking about?
I want to design fucking airplanes. Yeah, get rich off that and then use the cash to produce some new musicals. Enough with the revivals already. It's total bullshit. Audiences deserve something original.
Let's listen to this fragment one more time.
I want to design fucking airplanes. Yeah, get rich off that and then use the cash to produce some new musicals. Enough with the revivals already. It's total bullshit. Audiences deserve something original.
Now ask yourself, when you watch Netflix or movies in English, how often do you see scenes like that you don't really understand? And you just move on to the next scene without actually taking the time to understand what this is about. I get it. When we watch a movie, we have no time for that, and we're not interested in that, if we're honest. But this time, I suggest that we actually pause and check our understanding. Let's see what they really said. You will see the same scene with the subtitles now. Focus on the text that you see on the screen and give yourself the task to hear every single word that you see. Don't try to guess what it sounds like or what it is. Focus on reading the text and give your brain the job to hear every single word that you're reading, including every little article, preposition, contraction, everything that you usually miss. Let's do it.
I want to design fucking airplanes. Yeah, get rich off that and then use the cash to produce some new musicals. Enough with the revivals already. It's total bullshit. Audiences deserve something original. I want to design fucking airplanes. Yeah, get rich off that and then use the cash to produce some new musicals. Enough with the revivals already. It's total bullshit. Audiences deserve something original.
Now you can see exactly how many words you missed and how many words you understood correctly when you watched it the first time. Instead of guessing, oh, I think I understand everything. I think I understand 90%, 60%, 65%, 82%. Now you can give yourself the exact number. The scene is only 11 seconds long, and it's very easy to count the words. So all the words in the scene is 100% of what they said. In case they said 50 words, and you couldn't hear 10 words, that means you heard exactly 80% of what was said. It's also important to not only hear the words, but to understand what these words mean together. It's important that you understand what it means. Enough with the revivals already. What does it mean? Do you get it? What does it mean to get rich off that? Do you get it? This is what I mean when I say that checking your understanding is more important than understanding the words. This is what I mean when I say that understanding people and what they mean to say is more important than learning more grammar and vocabulary. That's why I want to deliver this idea and I want it to sink in. If you watch Netflix every day, if you watch movies in English on a regular basis, it's not the same as practicing your listening skills or improving your listening skills. All you're doing is you're maintaining the same level that you already have. If you're very honest with yourself right now, and if you notice scenes like that, where you don't really understand what they said, but who has the time to pause the video and listen again? Let's just watch a movie. If the answer to this question is yes, it means there are moments where you still do not understand something and where you can work on your listening skills. Trust me, it's a life-changing skill. When you teach yourself to hear and understand every single word, watching a movie becomes a totally new experience. So the idea that I want you to hear is this. I want you to see the difference between watching a movie and doing an exercise. A lot of people think that they can combine the two and that watching Netflix every day counts as improving their listening skills. No, it doesn't. Watching Netflix every day helps you maintain the level that you already have. And unfortunately, it helps you strengthen your bad habits. If you have this habit of not checking your understanding and guessing a lot of words that were said and trying to make meaning where you can't find one, all you're doing is strengthening this bad habit. If your goal is to watch a movie, relax and watch a movie, but doing an exercise with a movie is a totally different story. If you want to improve your listening skills using a movie or a Netflix show, then you need to select a very short scene that is difficult for you to understand and do the transformation exercise. I spoke about transformation exercises in other videos on my YouTube channel, but the idea is that you need to create this transformation from I have no idea what they're talking about, or I have no idea how to do this exercise, to I hear and understand every single word that they are saying, and it's so easy. I can't imagine how I could not hear that before. That's the transformation going on here. Let's go over some of the reasons why people keep doing the things that are not working for them. For example, why do they keep guessing and why do they not check their understanding? When people tell themselves the story of, oh, yeah, sure, I understand what they said. Yeah, it's clear. They develop this belief that they understand everything the first time they look at something, the first time they hear something, the first time they see something. They don't cultivate the habit of checking their understanding. Checking your understanding is one of the fundamental skills in the system of the exercises to achieve native-like fluency in a foreign language. It's impossible to understand something the first time you look at something new. It's just against logic. When you learn a foreign language, you want to double-check everything. When you speak to a person that matters to you, even in your first language, and if what they say matters, you probably also want to check your understanding. Do you really understand your child correctly? Do you hear your partner correctly? Are they saying what you think they're saying? You double check even in your first language. However, when we learn a foreign language, somehow there is this base assumption that if you need to watch something a second time, you're a bad student. Your listening skills are poor, too poor. You're not doing good enough. This is simply not true. So avoid this pitfall. Avoid making this mistake. If you didn't understand something, it's worth having another look. If you didn't hear or understand what a person said, it's worth asking what they really meant to say. There's no shame in that. In fact, the more often you do that, the faster you actually learn to hear and understand what people mean to say the first time you hear them speak. So, how to fix this mistake? Remember to check your understanding. Never be satisfied with, yeah, I think I understand. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get it.
I want to design fucking airplanes. Yeah, get rich off that and then use the cash to produce some new musicals. Enough with the revivals already. It's total bullshit. Audiences deserve something original.
I hope you enjoyed this mini podcast episode and a short lesson to help you improve your listening skills. Thank you so much for listening and for being with me for these 9 minutes. I will talk about more mistakes that people make involuntarily or because this is all they know or because they're not even aware of the fact that they're making them in the next episodes. If you find this episode useful, please let me know in the comments. If you have questions, please ask. And if you struggle understanding something specific, do let me know in the comments as well. Maybe I can find a movie scene for us to practice exactly that.